Hi class, and welcome to Understanding the edTPA assignment. This presentation will only cover part 2.1 of the assignment. That is the first part of part 2. There'll be a separate presentation on the remainder of the assignment. These are the instructions that are located in the assignment folder. Part 2.1 is about planning and developing formative assessments. And there are several parts to it. It says to develop a pre-assessment. So you've already selected your standard and described your lesson. Now the pre-assessment will state how you will know that students, what they know about the topic. So you might talk about an exit ticket, diagram, word list, paragraph writing, KWL charts, yes/no cards, and many more. There are lots of these ideas in your text and on the internet, but the main thing here is that it should be aligned with your learning target. So if your learning target, for example, is that students will be able to divide a 2-digit number by a 2-digit number, well, how will you pre-assess for that skill? It's important to know where students are in this skill. A pre-assessment is always ungraded because you haven't taught them anything. You're merely just trying to understand what they're able to do or what they know about the learning target. Part B of this is to develop an embedded formative assessment. So that is, how will you know what students know about the learning target during your lesson? So for example, when I teach a face-to-face class, I usually give out whiteboards and I'm asking lots of questions and students are writing things down. That might be appropriate for that. You also might use assessment apps. You might use questioning and discussions. You might give homework that's aligned with the learning target. The important thing here is that it occurs during instruction, and that is the sequence of instruction, and it should be aligned with your learning target. Now just a quick word about submission and grading. This week you're only to do 2.1. Do not go ahead to 2.2. 2.2 is a rather extensive project on its own. It's a summative assessment and you're going to be designing a quiz and learning how to do reading analysis, so you don't want to do that yet. But you will complete all of the parts, 2.1, 2, and 3, by October 27th. You don't have to upload 2.1 this week, but I would encourage you not to put it off because it is a rather large part of the assignment, as I said. Now, when you upload part 2, be sure to revise and change part 1 as well based on that feedback. So I should have by this point given you feedback and you should have taken that into account on part 1. Make sure that when you make changes, I can see them in some way. You could type them in red font, you could highlight them, and you're going to submit your revised part 1 along with your new part 2 on October 27th. So if you have any questions, it's better to email me earlier than later because I just hate it when students get caught in the trap of waiting until the day before, even the day up, when they start these big assignments and then realize they're overwhelmed. So do take a look at that, plan for how you're going to pace yourself out. The big part, like I said, comes in 2.2, and so you'll want to budget time for all of this. Any questions, please feel free to email me.